Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning into another Supatease video. And following that urgent class update, we've got a lot more specific and detailed information about what is going on in relation to those classes. And the first one that really stood out to me was the new Balance Druid talent tree. And I have to say, unfortunately, I am very unhappy with it. So I'm going to be going through this new talent tree, trying to break it down, trying to see what we can do to make it work, looking at the old talent tree and trying to figure out where the improvements can be made. But they've moved a lot of talent trees around that were really undesirable, and now they're using them to basically gate lock you from the fun talents that you were able to get before. And it's very saddening for myself here on the balance tree, like almost so much so that I might retire from the spec. So let's just take a deep look at this. The Moonkin talent tree here is on the right side. Of course, we're going to start with Eclipse. Everything is looking fine. We're getting Solar Beam. We're getting Shooting Stars. We're getting Starfall. We're getting Solstice. We're feeling good about things. We can avoid Lunar Shrapnel, which was definitely a complaint here from the old talent tree, was having to get Lunar Shrapnel to go into Starweaver. They solved that problem, but I feel like they've created a lot more now on the bottom as more of a cascading effect, and we're about to get to that. Nature's Balance, I really love taking this talent, and now we've got a tough decision here. I got to take something that I don't really want to take. I personally don't like Stellar Flare. I've been not playing it in PvP. This ability is on Astral School, which means it's a very dangerous spell to cast. If you're interrupted on everything. It's easily dispelled even after you finish casting such a dangerous spell. The risk versus reward to this ability when it comes to PvP just completely, utterly knocks it out of the park. There might be some saving grace possibly to having to take this if they added some sort of PvP talent around Stellar Flare, maybe enhancing the already existing Dying Stars, which is when Sunfire and Moonfire are dispelled, you generate Astral Power, adding some sort of Dispel protection to it, giving something to it, removing it from Astral School, making it only Lunar, so you're only kicked on Arcane. There's a lot of things that could be done, maybe PvP specifically, to make it in a feels better spot for PvP, but at the moment, like, I guess I got to get it. I mean, I could get Solar Beam cooldown reduction, but I really don't think I want to do that. So we're going to go with Stellar Flare, and this is where the first big problem comes in. So this next row of talents, at least when it comes to PvP, these are all the worst ones that you can take. Astral Smolder is like flat out the absolute worst talent. Like, I do not want to have to take this, but it leads into Stellar Innervation, which is one that I do really want. It's really desirable to me. The next one is Umbral Embrace. Dealing astral damage has a chance to cause your next Wrath or Starfire to become astral and deal more damage. This is a really dangerous one. I was opting to take it and only casting it when I absolutely knew that I could get away with it. And you kind of have to get it because it leads into Celestial Alignment. So there's no way you're avoiding it this time. You have to get that. And the next one, Umbral Intensity, which in the previous talent tree, you could choose between them. You could either get Umbral Intensity or Umbral Embrace. You didn't have to get both of them, which meant that you could have 2 talent points to get some of the new fun and exciting stuff on the bottom. But now this is going to soak up 2 talent points because you have to get both. This leads into Rattle of Stars or Starweaver, which is going to be a mandatory talent. And I've really just been liking Starweaver. Nature's Grace, which is a really good one that I have a lot of fun with. When you exit Eclipse, you get a little bit of a haste benefit. Of course, we're going to have to get Celestial Alignment. I love Orbit Breaker or Orbital Strike. I'm always going to be getting that. And you can see where the problems are now coming in. I'm spending so many points. And then these points now that I need to get lead into the Power of Goldrin, which on the old talent tree, I could completely avoid, still pick up my mushrooms, get some crit build, get some haste, get all the fun stuff that I really liked on the old one. Now I can't because I'm going to have to get 2 points in it, not just one. I'm going to have to spend 2 points in this thing that I don't want to get. I still want to be running Waning Twilight for that extra 3 periodic effects. And now we've unlocked the bottom window. So I'm pretty much going to have to sacrificial Lamb Stellar Innervation. Just because Astral Smolder is just completely not worth it when it comes to PvP. So we're going to have to completely sack that. Go for Wild Mushroom. Really liked that. Really liked the dot effect. Like the snare. Super fun. We want Fury of Elune for Astral Power generation. We really want Star-Lord. And it's also going to lead us into Incarnation. And we would really like to get Orbit Breaker because this thing is so much fun. So we're going to go Cosmic Rapidity, which is also now nerfed because This is only going to affect Moonfire, Sunfire, and Stellar Flare, and not your Wild Mushroom dot. Similarly to how Circle of Life and Death did, it affected all of your dots. So a little bit of a nerf here. It seems like a really big nerf to Boomkin overall with this talent tree. We want to get Astral Communion. We want to get Orbit Breaker. But look at what now I've lost. I can't get Stellar Innervation. It's gate locked. Like, even sacrificing it, I still can't get everything. I was able to get Balance of All Things before, and I was able to get Elun's Guidance, which now I am unable to, and I have to pick up Stellar Flare. So with the way that this talent tree has been shifted around, I'm forced to get Goldrin and put 2 points into it. I'm forced to get Stellar Flare, and I don't want it. And I'm forced to either get Umbral Intensity or Umbral Embrace, because you have to get both in order to get to the important talents and the fun ones that you want to get towards the bottom, which you weren't previously gate kept from getting. I could avoid Stellar Flare. I only had to get one of these, and I could choose between the way that I wanted to cast my my weak casted damage. I could choose it. I could avoid Astral Smolder. I could avoid Warrior of Elune. I could swap some talents over to Denizen of the Dream if I wanted to, or go this full moon build. I still don't feel like I have any flexibility or choice. It's just now I'm forced to take like 3 talents that I don't want and waste a lot of points on them. And I'm still purposely going to avoid things. Like, I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get Soul of the Forest. Now I have to sack this because I can't get it. These talents are not beneficial in PvP. These Starfall talents, the Lunar Shrapnel and Ethereal Kindling. So, like, this is the improvement, right? This got moved to the side. So if you want to AoE, the option is there. But then the problems reinstate themselves below, like Goldrin single target leading into Wild Mushroom, which is AoE. So the problem just shifted from here to here. And now I have to sack way more talents in order to get what I want. Like, just look at the damage loss difference, right? I'm going to lose Balance of All Things, which is 24% crit. I'm going to lose Elun's Guidance, which was Astral Power reduction of Starfall by 8. So like basically like significant reduction in Starfall. We're losing Circle of Life and Death, applying damage over time effect benefits to our Wild Mushrooms. We're losing Stellar Innervation, which is providing us Astral Power generation increases from Sunfire and Moonfire. Like, this is a really big loss. So like I got really excited about Balanced Druid because of the changes that I saw for Typhoon. But then now I'm looking at this talent tree that got shifted all around, and I'm like, wow, I can't get any of the cool stuff I previously got. And without getting that previously cool stuff, my class is going to feel really nerfed. This is a rough one. Now, I do believe this is a talent tree that's in a beta phase for the next patch, 10.0.5. I do hope that they take a second look at this, because I don't see myself like flipping around my talents, probably even less. At least with this old one, I could flip some things around to maybe get Denizen over here. There's no way that you're going to not have dead talents, because some of them are just based around AoE, right? And then it'd be the difference of like Arena, there's 2 people to hit, right? In a raid where you're hitting 50 people, yeah, I'm going to take the talent hits 50 people, but now I don't have 50 people to hit, so I'm never going to take that. That's just part of the situation of creating talents that are used in such a wide variance of content. I don't think that's such a bad thing. If you have talents to enhance each area of the gameplay, and means that they're not taken in other areas because they don't have enough targets, right? I think that's fine. But with this all shifted around, it's not really going to affect my build. It's just I've just lost a bunch of cool stuff, and I'm frustrated about the things that I have to get. Now, what could fix this if this is the talent tree that had to go through? PvP changes that buff our casted damage. Wrath and Starfire are really pathetically weak. That would make these talents more desirable. I wouldn't feel as bad about going into them. And then Stellar Flare getting some Dispel protection, or getting moved into Lunar as opposed to Astral, at least when it comes to its interrupt school, so that you're not interrupted on everything. I think in the past this used to work with Alkin Frenzy. It was instant when you got it. I don't know if that's still true. I'd have to test that. It might still be true, but if it isn't, then making it so that Stellar Flare is instant when you get Alkin Frenzy procs, similar to how Starfire is, could be one way. But I'm pretty sad with this. Now on the left side, I'm a little bit happier, but not really at the same time. Actually, we'll get to that in a minute as I fill out this talent tree. They've added a connection window here on the right, so you can avoid some of these bear form abilities, which is nice. And you can just lead right down into Typhoon and get into this new talent, Gale Winds, increased radius, increased yard, or reduced cooldown of Typhoon. I really like that they incorporated that effect from Wrath of the Lich King. And we can continue down in the middle and the left, just getting our talent points in here. Okay, we got to get Cyclone. So here I was thinking like, oh, before I can get down to the bottom wing, I'm going to be able to get D-Curse back. But then I looked, and it's like, it's still 3 points. I still have to get Swiftbend. I still have to get... They said they moved it to the side, but this isn't really the side. This This is not really the side. I still have to spend 3 points to get to it. So we spend 1, which unlocks the bottom window, where we're going to need to get Bash. We want 1 Well-Honed Instincts. We want Mass Entangle. We want 3 Lycarious Teachings because of the extra damage. We got Innervate and Nature's Vigil. So basically what you're going to have to choose between here and this final choice is, like, I guess it is a bit more accessible from the older tree, is Heart of the Wild or the ability to decurse. So you're going to lose a 6-minute cooldown, defensive healing cooldown for the ability to remove Hex. Like, you can at least flex it, whereas in the other one, you weren't able to flex it at all. So there's a little bit of alleviation and improvement here on the left side of the tree. But I was really hoping that remove connection was just, or remove corruption was just not even a chain of things. I was hoping it was going to be like this, you know, where Star Surge is off to the side. This still is the same amount of talent points to get remove curse, unfortunately. So the only thing is this kind of cheeky Typhoon thing, which ultimately is probably not going to change Boomkin dramatically. It's just kind of a nice flavor thing. Whereas their throughput and their mechanics of the class, this is completely shifted. And in my opinion, a massive nerf when it comes to PvP. So not very excited about it overall. I've ranted about it a bit here. I'm going to keep my eye on it. Hopefully things change, but not very happy with this right now, with the way that it's laid out, and I've talked about the reasons why here throughout the video. So other than that, wish I could bring some good news here for balanced druids, but it's looking kind of grim. So we'll have to wait and see if there's any more updates or changes moving forward. And again, as always, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you're aware of those changes moving into the future, so that you're never missing a beat and you know what's going on with your class. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.